HTB family, how's it going? Welcome to Hold the Ball. Hope you guys are well. Thank you again for tuning in, for joining in. Hope you're liking my new 2023 Warriors jersey. Yes, if I stand up and I show you guys the big bright aura there, you'll be blind, so I'm not going to do it. But as you can see, yeah, hopefully you're enjoying it. But look, in saying that, I digress. We go into serious matters, right? Top 5 players in the Warriors, I think, anyway, for this year, going to be vital to every bit of our success. Yeah. Hit that intro. Alright guys, here we go. It is another rendition of our top 5 players right from the Warriors, and I'll be giving you guys my thoughts and reasons why, right? So without further ado, let's get straight into it. And I suppose in saying that though, we'll go from from 5 to 1, right? 1 being the most important. So let's do it. Alright, in 5th place for me, I think Sean Johnson. Now we all know what Sean Johnson can bring: the X factor, the kick factor, the step factor, the looks factor. He is the be-all, end-all in terms of what you want a player to be. Now, all jokes aside, though, the reality is we all know Sean Johnson is not the horse that he once was. He used to be galloping, he used to be jumping, he was there everywhere, and he was absolutely a sight to behold, particularly when he was on. Sean Johnson, though, last season took a bit of a backward step, in my opinion, and because of that, a lot of criticism was hurled towards him, and I suppose in self-reflection from his end, he also thought he probably could have done more. Now, the time is done for the talk, right? We are now going to be looking at this at face value and just saying, well, it is what it is. You're right. You forget about last season, but this time you do your best. Now, Sean Johnson, for mine, looks very fit, proper, and trim, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing what he can bring. So for me, he will play a very big role, I think, this year anyway. Now, granted, it is actually his last year too. I'm not sure if the Warriors are going to renew his contract. I don't know what's going to happen there. All right. So, again, be aware of the dynamics at play when he's playing. But I thought for mine, number 5. All right, number 4 for me, I think it'll be Charles Klukstad. Reason why, fullback. It is such a vital position. Obviously now with the other person now gone to the Broncos. CNAC for me has an opportunity to really stamp himself. Now, we all know what he was like at the Raiders a few years ago, right? It wasn't that long ago when he was arguably one of the best fullbacks going around, and then things happened, whether it be injury, form, whatever it was, things just weren't clicking for CNAC, Chancellor Cole Klukstad, that is. And, it made, unfortunately, it just didn't bode well for him. Obviously, the likes of Savage coming into play for the Raiders there, shutting him in the back, and that's just the way it went. Now, he has a chance to really try and stamp himself here. Now, in all honesty, right, CNAC comes in more mature, older, a wealth of experience under his belt. And I suppose that's what the Warriors are sort of hedging their bets on, right? His experience, his wealth of knowledge, what he can bring to us. Now, what does that mean for his game? I'm not too sure. All right, CNAC is not CNAC of 2019, 2018. We all know this. But CNAC, again, is a different player. Now, granted, how do we sort of play the game around him, right? How does he sort of open? What sort of game does he bring? What tools can he utilize? Now, granted, like I said, last season, we didn't see much of him. I think he played for about, a couple of games, I think. And then he was sort of not there anymore in the picture. So, again, what sort of influence does he have in the game? What does he bring? And is it going to be really effective, particularly if he is fullback? Now, this is under the assumption that he will be fullback, by the way. So, again, we'll have to wait and see. All right, guys, number 3 for me, Toy Harris. We all know what Toy Harris can bring to the game. Now, granted, in my own opinion, controversial, but I'll stand by it. I don't think he's a captain. I mean, he's a leader, but I just don't think he's a captain. He's captain material, in my opinion. But in saying that, he brings a wealth of strength, a wealth of power, a wealth of experience, right? And again, he's gunning in for another year, and I think this is now. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this his second to last year? Or is this last year? I think it's the second to last year of his contract. But our point being, Toy Harris gets to lead us around the park. Now, granted, it's going to be very interesting to see how he sort of plays here, particularly the new forwards, the likes of Mitch Barnett. Obviously, there might be a wrestle between him and Curran for the lock position. The likes of Eden Fornoa Blake, the Kepu twins, right? Jackson Ford, again, young players who are coming up, so to speak, right? Again, trying to hunt that position that he has. And it's the nature of sport. right? It's the beauty of the beast, I suppose, and the tragedy of sport too is that our ferrets all age. But in saying that, it is what it is. Now back to Toy Harris, his leadership. Again, how does he sort of work? How he'll be gelling with the forward pack? How effective his leadership will be, right? Again, I have always questioned. Not as effort, not as heart, no, not at all. Actually, in all honesty, but I've just never been too much of a fan of his leadership. Now I'm hoping that he can show me and prove me wrong. In all honesty, so I guess for me, I have him there as the third most important player, purely for a few factors, but I think primarily as well to see how he can lead us again this year. That's all. Number 2 for me. All right, so for me, I've got here, it's a bit of a toss-up, but for me, I've got Eden Funor-Blake. Now, in terms of the props department, forwards department, he is the go-to. He's the meter eater most nights. He is looking very fit. He's looking very strong. Eden Funor-Blake, for me, will be a pillar for this team, particularly in forward pack, as mentioned before. But I guess as well, we spoke about leadership with Toy Harris. I see Eden Funor-Blake as a genuine leader, in my opinion. Now, in saying that, what can he bring? What can he use to motivate the boys in the forward pack when push comes to shove? Last year, we all know what happened. He had a lot of, he had Lodge to rely on, right? So those two were working in tandem, and it was a good combination, in my opinion. Now we see Eden Funor-Blake virtually being the sole prop. I mean, granted, you've got R4 there, yes. Got the Kepo twins, as mentioned before. Potentially Isaac Liu, Hamlin Uele, I'm hearing rumours. But get my point, I think Eden Funor-Blake definitely leads the props to there. And he's such a vital player for us now, right? Particularly with Ben Murdoch-Masilas gone. It's lonely there. But in saying that, for him in particular, the challenge for him really is what he can bring, but I also see him being a very vital and pivotal player. He's going to be absolutely important for us, I reckon anyway, as we take charge and head towards 2023. Last player for mine, the most important in my opinion, Josh Curran. Josh Curran, end of story. Do not debate me. How dare you? Do not be rude. Get off my channel. No, I'm kidding. Look, Josh Curran for me, I love him, right? The epitome of warriorism. He is aggressive. He is ruthless. He's the type of player that'll run up at the biggest bloke, get smashed, and get up and be like, yeah, let's do it again. And I just love that. He tackles well. He's got the heart of a warrior. And I hope that Josh Curran stays with us. I am I'm pro Josh Curran. Let's just call it spade a spade. I'm pro Josh Curran. So in this channel, there's no Josh Curran slander of any kind, any sort. I'm going to deal to you if there's any slander. But in all seriousness, though, what he brings is just this hard edge, and I know I don't like to say it, but it is what it is, right? That Aussie grit he brings. I see him as a leader. I actually see him as the future captain, in all honesty, of the Warriors. There's just something about Josh Curran that just makes me feel good when I watch him play. I feel like I can trust this bloke now. Now, granted, things have been shaky, but he's always looking good. Most times he's consistent. Remember last year when he was playing, he was, in talks of actually being part of the Blues. Now, granted, an injury happened and blah, 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 the rest is history. But you get my point. If you get someone who's actually spoken about, representing, right, in the origin or international arena, it's a big deal, aka Eden Funor-Blake, right? Big deal there. Now, like I said, Josh Curran for me, he's the go-to in my opinion in terms of leadership, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he plays this year. He looks trim, he looks slim, he looks good, and I'm just looking forward to seeing what Joshy can bring for us. King Curran is actually my nickname for him. That's what I call him. I call him King Curran. So spread it around. We're gonna see more of King Curran around. I'm just a fan of him, mate. He's probably my favorite player. If not my second, but I think he's actually my favorite player of the Warriors. But no, that's it. I cannot wait to see what he brings in the game. Off-ball runs, tackles as well. Just that hearty, gritty play from Curran. We all know it. We love. Come on, I don't need to say it. Anyway, guys, that is me there for now. Give me your thoughts. Was I right? Was I wrong? Who is top 5? Right? Anyway, take it easy. See you guys next time. And just remember, hold the ball.